Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Full Spectrum Podcast. My name is Trey.
I am Rungren.
We got some stuff to talk about tonight.
Yes.
It's like the letter
What?
7 letters worth 5 points. It's not 7, that's for sure. But yeah, we're on Twitch now. And just a big thank you to everybody that's watching. If you're watching this VOD on YouTube later and you're like, hey, why didn't I get the notification they went live? It's because we're on Twitch now. We're Twitch affiliates. And so we have some cool stuff that we can do on Twitch that we couldn't do on YouTube. Don't have access to all of it right now, but I'm working on that. But one of the new things that we're going to have is called Stories, which will let us blog. I don't want it. I don't know why they're giving us the ability to blog on Twitch, but they are.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. But we got new emotes and stuff. I don't know why the sound alert didn't play there. I will see if I can get that. I do now know why that sound alert didn't play. Remember when I had to log back into Twitch on everything? Yeah, I didn't do it over here. I did it on my laptop.
Oh, come on, Trey.
So I'll give us a quick redemption on Will 3 so that's
Taken care of? Okay.
taken care of.
How dare you?
Didn't it play? Come on, Trey. There it goes.
Okay, if I came through?
Yes. I'm worried
Right.
for a second there.
Hurry up, Rungren.
Yeah, we're good now. They're playing like they're supposed to.
Okay.
But yeah, there's new emotes. There's more stuff, and I'm working on trying to get more sound alert space. There's a way that we might be able to do that without having to pay like $15 a month. But working on that, so no promises yet. No promises at all, I guess. But you know, working on it. Anyway, do we have emotional damage? Didn't play either. Why?
Come on, Trey.
Emotional damage.
Try
Oh my gosh.
back to OBS. We're just, we're working out the kinks right now. That's all. No, don't leave because it's broken. Well, come back.
Man.
Just working out the kinks. Do we have a pop quiz while I try to get this working?
Sure. If you're ready for it, we'll go through a pop quiz. Okay?
Okay.
Start this off pretty simple.
Slow down, Will.
What color is a U.S. green card?
This feels like a trick question. I'm going to say green.
Yes, it's green.
Okay.
It's green. There was a time after World War II, from 1946 to about 1964, where they were yellow.
Okay.
So if you'd have said yellow, I'd have been like, okay, give me the date.
Right.
Give it through. No, most whites don't need a green card. That's not the way it works.
Hopefully your lag works out.
Oh, yeah. It might have, or some ones you've seen, they may have had them for a while, and they bleached out. They may have. I may have one, but in 2010, they went back to green. All right. You got that one. Good job. So, what color is a zebra's skin?
I feel like either way I answer is going to be wrong. Its skin color is its skin is okay, so the fur is white, black stripes. So the skin is tan or pink? Tan?
Skin's black. She's like a polar bear.
Okay.
Skin's black. The fur is striped. So we'll mark you down for an X with the red pen. You've got one now. Right now you're having it. You're 50%. Okay.
Okay.
True or false? A shark is colorblind.
That is true.
That's false. If you ever go swimming and there was a shark, you're warned to not wear yellow or orange. They have terrific eyesight and find those colors extremely irritating.
Well, you know.
Okay. Well, I'll put the big red X on that one. Next one.
Next one.
Well, what's the name of the room where guests hang out before they go on a TV talk show?
Green room.
That's correct, sir. In the green room. The color is supposed to be calming. So
For
that.
some reason, Sugar Fire's
So-
not working. Trying to work on it while we.
That's fine. For some reason, green's supposed to be calming along with the alcohol they usually put in there too.
Wow.
Let's see how to ask this. Okay. Benny and Smith make 120 different kinds of them, and kids ages 2 to 8 will spend an average of 28 minutes a day using them. What are they?
Okay, Benny and Smith. Can you reread the question for me, please?
Benny and Smith make 120 different kinds of them.
Benny and Smith make 120 different kinds of them.
Yes. And kids ages 2 to 8 spend an average of 28 minutes a day using them. What are they? Sir. What are they? The numbers may be. Well, hey, that's not a bad guess, Dark.
Utensils?
Okay. Utensils is something you use. Can you be a little more
I guess not
specific?
play with them, yeah. Well, because I was thinking of what would a kid use for 28 minutes every day, but
If they took a recent survey, I would imagine the number would go down a little bit, but probably not as much as many people would think.
okay. But they play with them. It's not just something they use.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
it's
have
not.
no idea.
It's Crayola crayons. Crayons or markers, yes.
Okay.
Crayola crayons. Yeah, so the Chad did pretty good, kind of whittle it down. I think they said pencils first.
Yeah.
And then there was a that came in, but yeah.
Faith, you may have to refresh if you're getting chat answers before you're hearing the question.
Yeah. Well, it was a good guess. Yeah, well not you, Trey. Chat.
Right.
Okay. So, Oprah Winfrey, Whoopi Goldberg, and Danny Glover were among the cast in this 1985 Steven Spielberg directed movie about the problems African American women faced in the early 1900s.
I have no idea.
You don't?
No.
Academy Award winning movie.
I feel like saying Sister Act is not going to be the right call here. You said Whoopi Goldberg, and that's all I could think of.
No, so there's a movie called The Color Purple.
Oh, okay.
Go
See, Dark and I are on the same wavelength tonight.
Yes, well.
I'm not sure why Trigger Fire's not working. Whenever somebody redeems something, I will manually play it, but that is the only option we have right now.
the the Sister Act movie.
Yeah, good job.
Excellent
Faith.
job, Faith. All right. Number seven.
Okay.
What does Roy G. Biv stand for?
Red, green, blue.
Roy G. Biv.
RGB, right?
It's the whole rainbow. Roy, red, orange, yellow. G, green. Biv,
Oh,
blue, indigo.
I've seen people use it as like shorthand, even though it's longer for RGB. So I just assumed that. Okay, yeah, that's on me.
Okay. Or Richard of York gave battle in vain. That's another one.
Yeah.
But that's not really used here in the States. But that's okay. What are this is question number 8? What
Okay.
are the colors of the 5 Olympic rings? Roy. His name Roy. That's his full name.
Red, orange, green, blue, yellow.
Okay, so I got a red, and you said orange,
Hmm.
green, blue, yellow.
Hmm.
Okay, orange is incorrect.
Oh.
Orange is incorrect. You want to switch it out for one thing? There's red, green, blue. Y'all got that?
I'll switch orange for purple.
No, it's black.
Okay,
I'm gonna give you partial credit on that one.
appreciate it.
On that.
Waverly was with me on that one.
Yeah. The every flag of a country participating in the Olympics includes at least one of those colors.
Okay, that's
I
cool.
don't think it's the big flag color. I can't think of what you came on. There are 2 common colors which have no words in standard English that rhyme with them. One is purple. What is the other?
In standard English?
Yeah.
Orange.
Orange. There you go. Got it. I'm going. Excellent. Ellen. That's excellent. 10. 10. All right.
Yeah.
That's very serious knowledge we all need to know here. Orange, yes. Not counting stuff like Eminem. Eminem can rhyme orange, but I didn't.
Right.
Purple nurple. Nurple's not a word. I mean, we all know what it means, but well, most of us do. But it's not a word.
I'll have to, though. Yes, they'll have to.
Sorry about the lag. I hate
Yeah.
forgetting that.
We shouldn't have been having any lag at all. I'm not dropping any frames or anything, and we're still green, but it seems like it's happening. Dark says pause and unpause if you're getting
Yeah, maybe it'll help clear it up. See, it'll help. Have you tried unplugging it and plugging it back in? Yeah. Number 10. What is the most common toothbrush color?
I feel like this could be a trick question too, because most toothbrushes are white with another color. So I'm gonna say white.
No, the most common toothbrush color is blue. 35.
Okay.
35 is the final score.
Tried to game it too much.
Had a red pen. Looks like I bled all over my paper here.
I haven't been skunked yet.
No, I don't think so. I think the lowest you got is 10. I think you always got at least one.
Makes sense. Well, just blame it on the lag, Faith. That's what all the pro gamers do when something goes wrong. Just blame it on the lag.
Yeah.
I got it.
No, that's a lot of
Do you?
damage.
Having to manually play them every time right now.
Laggy waggy. It's the end of the world, Ma. The whole internet's coming down. All right.
One of these days, I'm going to get 100%, and everybody in chat's going to be this idiot over here fluked it out. Don't stare
Yeah.
at me like that. Come on now.
All right.
Your lag is making both of us have stutters. This is supposed to stop the lag.
Like so bad we're stuttering. That's hilarious.
Ugh.
It's not. I'm sorry you're going through that, but
Right.
still.
Well, ready to talk some Gundam?
Yes.
Talk Gundam X.
Gundam X. We're covering episodes 16 through 25. No,
11 through 20.
11 through 20.
Yeah.
Myself ahead too much. Almost at episode 30. That's cool. There's some good stuff in Gundam X, but each time I'm just sitting there going, yeah, if this was presented in another way, for after war Gundam, that it would probably be epic, you know. But Gundam X it's just kind of weak. There's no it's just the characters are real thin.
Yeah.
We did get an episode about Jamil, like digging into something that he's been through in the past, which helps his character stronger. No, it's not. It's not the worst.
Right. Yeah, it's not
just,
Charge Counter-Tracker Victory.
Yeah. It's just kind of.
Yeah, episode 20 is Tonya meeting Inil El.
Yeah.
Which had an update, so maybe that'll help. I pulled it up over here, and it seems to be doing fine.
The Enil L when they because it's like they restart the series in a weird way. Where we got to, it's like you get the first 15 episodes, and then it just feels like it changes the way the story's presented, the way scenes are set.
Yeah,
the animation just a little bit, and right, yes, the I'm sure it is. I'm sure.
No, I like a lot of the side characters. I don't love Tifa, and I don't think her relationship with Garrett is all that interesting.
No, and I think they have a really good set of side characters. I think the story would be better on. You could go down to the Frost brothers and concentrate more on them, or many of the side characters. Just you could take the the two guys, Wits and Realman? Royby, yeah, golly.
Dark, I would agree with you if not for the fact that there are plenty of romance anime with teenagers in anime that I like. I really want to see those two characters together and them happy.
Yeah. I'm much more interested in Wits and Royby, the Frost brothers. They Anila Il. Like the second when she's kind of reintroduced, where she's sitting there.
Yeah.
And it kind of falls from what you've given before, but it kind of resets her a little bit. That I think she's like that start for her, that restart. Like she's in such a much better position.
Yeah,
character through that. What is this?
Yeah, she's grown a lot.
Yeah, she's gotten better after that scene. She feels a lot stronger a character.
Also, she's almost engaged to Superman.
Yeah.
But we gotta before we move on from talking about Gundam X, we gotta talk about new type dolphins.
Talk about what?
New type dolphins.
Yeah, that was a horror. I think they fired everybody after that episode with the dolphins. Welcome back.
Welcome back, Will.
Episode and kind of started. The main characters is kind of Garrett is not. He is not on whose shoulder I want to ride through this story, right? Yeah. I would pick anybody else.
Yeah.
And just have him be the side character.
Let Kid be the pilot character. the mechanic and let us see everything from his perspective as the mechanics are trying to upkeep the Gundams and the pilots are, these two kind of distant but kind of cool guys,
Yeah.
Or Dr. Tex.
Dr. Jack's an interesting character. I don't know. Because I like the crew a lot. I like Jamil a lot. His issue with Lucille, like Lucille, is a much more interesting character to me than Tifa is.
Yeah, 100%.
And I realize who this is written for. All right, I do. I think Dark kind of alluded to that earlier, but Garrett and Tifa are just kind of boring.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, shut up. Yeah, well, especially after the episode with Lucille, there's a much better understanding of what Tifa is, Tifa and Jamil's relationship is.
Yeah.
That he knows what she is and what her abilities is, and he wants to make sure it gets protected. He feels he has a duty to do that after what happened before. Don't let her get misused and stuff. I don't know. It's got some stuff that I think could really make a killer show. It'd be a lot shorter, but there's just so much in it that's just fluff and crap.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And that's, showcase best with Dolphins.
Yeah. I guard Warden Farm say, yeah. It's kind of like Amaro and Bright. I think it's done better in this one. One of the very few things setting up that, just maybe because it has more of a protective aspect to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of the more interesting relationships happening between characters, on the screen. It's like, why is this guy so interested in her?
Yeah. No, I agree.
Right.
I just assume at this point that Tifa just assumes Garrett is always behind her somewhere.
Yeah.
Never seems to be able to leave her alone. And I get it. Look, I was the kid that an adult had to pull me aside and be like, look, man, you're around her too much. She's not going to like that. Give her some space. But
yeah. That's what if you watch through Gundam, which many of them are made, they're made in Japan, and I'm not saying I agree with anything.
Right.
There's different standards and ideas about it, though.
Yeah. Dark, there's a character coming that I think you're really going to like. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, you ready to move into weeks then?
Mm-hmm. We can move on. We'll keep going through Gundam X. There's gonna be more to it. There's gonna be better Gundams. There's gonna be worse Gundams, I'm sure.
Got it. I got that. Watch out, bearded.
Nice.
Watch out, bearded man. Also, while we're talking about watch out, bearded man, there's a watch out, bearded man emote.
Is there? Okay.
One of the dumbest things I've ever made, but
All right. Does it work? Oh, okay, there it is.
All right, we'll move into weeks.
Yes.
How's your week been, sir?
It's been all right. I watched some cool stuff.
We do have an ad going on just right now. It just started.
What? Do we? Where are you, Nightbot?
Hasn't Nightbot told me it started? Can you see his posts, or am I the only one that can see them now?
I don't see any Nightbot.
Oh, I see it. It's ad time. Thanks for supporting us. He gave me a little countdown and everything, but I guess the countdown lied. What's the point of having a countdown if it doesn't work?
On the job.
All right. Well, please continue. I'm now looking at the ad manager. I'll tell you when the ads start. Apparently, Nightbot will not.
Oh my gosh, I am disgusted. Let's start over. Get in the mood. All right, now I watched about some short films that were real cool.
The ad just started.
Did it really? Didn't give you a countdown. Nothing.
No, it just started.
Idle clicker porn game. Just started. Okay. So you got it now.
About 40 seconds, good sir.
40 seconds. Fine. I'm gonna drink some coffee.
YouTube group, since you're the only ones who'll see this, we love you. Appreciate you.
Maybe. I don't know how it transfers over.
Well, this part will still be in there for the VOD, but it just won't happen. Like, YouTube will probably put an ad here, but
yeah,
they probably won't see it anyway.
No idea.
Nice.
Agatha Christie game. That's so weird. Agatha Christie. Anyway.
Ad is over in.
No ad. Okay. Look, I don't think you know what you're doing, Trevor. I'm getting all kinds of reports about ads, and none of them line up with what you're saying. No, we watched these 4 short films.
Okay.
That were based off Roald Dahl stories.
Okay.
And one of them he had based off an actual news report. And they range over his career. I think the earliest one was like 1950. And then the latest one I think he wrote in like 1979.
Okay.
They might have had one after that, but I'm not sure how much longer he was around after that. I should have looked that up.
The 79 one clearly was inspired by Gundam.
No. He wrote The Swan, The Ratcatcher. These were the short films. The Swan, and that was one he had based on an actual news story.
Yeah.
And the events of that, and it was kind of a dark, and it's the story and the storyline in these, as well as another one I'm talking about. They are how it is told. Is just as important to the whole experience as what's being told.
Hmm.
So they're all kind of like artistic. I guess we're
Okay.
go with that common swans. Not the black swan. Yeah, that was. Anyway,
Mathis found the new emotes.
Swan, the Ratcatcher Poison, the wonderful story of Henry Sugar.
Okay.
And that one had, I believe, Poison and the wonderful story of Henry Sugar. I think both of those had Benadryl cummerbund in them.
Okay.
On that Poison, there was a snake involved. Ratcatcher was just this strange story about a rat catcher, but they're all. I think the short. I can't remember how long the shortest one. I think they're all under 20 minutes. One might be like 22 minutes.
Okay.
But they're all kind of fantastical and just well done. There's a little thing with it of somebody sitting there talking about Mr. Dahl and the ideas or something about it. This dude he would play. Okay. Weirdos. The other thing was on Netflix that I watched through. There's a bunch of episodes. The shortest one was like 6 minutes. The longest one I think was like 22 minutes. Maybe 30 minutes. But it was Love, Death, and Robots.
Okay.
And that is 100% worth putting on and letting them roll.
Okay.
Henry Sugar's quite long, yeah. So it's 39 minutes. That's by far the longest one.
Nice.
The 4 Roald Dahl stories, they were actually marketed as like each individual.
I got you.
There wasn't that it didn't like play like a series or anything. But
Right.
I love Robots is showing more like a series. And like I said, they're all real short. A lot of them are sci-fi, just weird little. If you've read like Stephen King sci-fi short stories, is what I like. Stephen King short stories are some of them are just 2 pages. You know, Isaac Asimov, Odyssey Clark, excuse me. Had a couple that were like that, like
Yeah.
about one monster eating the world or whatever. But all of them were really good. The very last one was probably my least favorite out of it, and I still enjoyed it. But it's yeah, lots of boobs and stuff. Just some of the worlds that these, and there's all different kinds. Like there's the computer graphics that are trying to be as realistic as possible, and they pull it off. Uh, there's scenes where you're like, did they film this?
Right.
But then something will break, and the uncanny valley will show through, and you're like, no, this is really good. And some of
Okay.
them are very artistic. There's no attempt at realism, more of caricature of the figures in the story. But all different kinds of art styles, mostly sci-fi, not all.
Okay.
One of them gets revisited. One of the stories gets revisited. Just very solid, very solid done, and a nice little snippets of these artists that put these together.
Okay.
Just telling, and a lot of them you're going to watch and say, I kind of want more of that world. And some of them you're just going to be like, okay, then I guess that's the way that happened, and we'll leave that be. But really, really, really well done. It's if I don't know how to explain it, they would work as like these would be like the ultimate YouTube videos in a way
I gotcha.
through that. Yes, that was a great story. And a lot of them have a not, I don't know, it's not like like this super badass twist, but just a twist that makes you go right at the end of them. I
Okay.
think it's definitely worth a watch.
Yeah.
They go by, like I said, they're not long. The shortest one I think is called when the day the yogurt took over,
Okay.
something like that. But they do such a good. Okay, I got a good way to put it.
Okay.
We watched a lot of Gundam, right?
Right.
Go to Igloo, dude in the tank.
Yeah.
It's not very long. They cover everything they need to. That's a memorable story, and
Yeah.
that's the way the stories run. And some of them are humorous, some of them are weird. It's just really, really good.
Okay.
And definitely to watch, to go through. But that's pretty much how watching short things is how I spent my week. I did go to work the other day, but 6 minutes long, and I think that includes credits. I think without credits, it's like 4.5 minutes.
Nice.
Read by the Brain, that's the one. Yeah, if you know Pinky and the Brain, the narrator for the yogurt story, you're gonna recognize the voice.
Okay.
Pinky and the Brain. That was cool.
Very cool.
But that was roughly, we played Lotro. Had a lot of fun with that the other day. Well, it's been pretty decent. How was your week been, sir?
My week's been pretty good. I started off with some hobbying. I got my color scheme finished on my Necrons. I'm pretty proud of it. Wound up looking. The lighting is not good through this camera apparently, but that same purple is also on the eye of the guy, and then he's got the green, and I added some chipping to make him look older because these are like ancient skeleton beings.
So it's like a battle droid somebody put together back on Tatooine.
Yeah. Exactly
Yeah.
the look I was going for. Like super ancient, coming back up out of the ground. And then for my Tyranids, I went for a coconut crab style color. This is too dark. I want it brighter. Because coconut crabs have a like bright white underbelly.
Coconut crab sounds pretty good, actually.
Right. And so I'm pretty proud of the progress so far, but it definitely still has a little ways to go. It's still way too dark and muddy for what I want, but I'm getting there.
Nice.
And then I've still been playing Casette Beasts.
Oh my gosh, Trey, forever.
Seems really good. No more House. I think he finished House last week.
Yeah. Finished all 8 seasons. Was very pleased. I like the way they ended it. They didn't try to be clever at the end of it. They gave it an ending. You're like, okay, that's the way things are.
Yeah.
You know.
More things should end that way. No, Casette Beasts is really fun so far. I think I'm probably like at the 3/4 point now. I've killed enough of the Archangels that a guy is mad at me and sent me to another dimension, and it was a really cool like whole sequence. But I think that it's like nearing the end of the arc, basically.
Okay.
And I had a full team of really cool monsters that I really like, especially the Gear T-Rex. Love that guy. But I put a bunch of them in the box so I could take out a bunch of little low-level tapes and level them up to be able to get them to evolve to, and, you know, trying to see what cool stuff I can get before I reach the end.
Is it like a steampunky T-Rex?
No, it's very cartoony. It's like 3 giant gears and then a head on the top that looks kind of like the canopy of a caterpillar.
Okay.
And then like giant missile arms. And its name is Gearyu, which is obviously a reference to Mechagodzilla, who is Kiryu.
Yeah, but that they can't use that. So.
Right. So it's Gearyu.
Okay, I got you.
No, that's a great game, and I can't recommend it enough to people who love monster collecting games.
It's first. Okay, look, I don't know why my brain clicks the way it does sometimes. I'm thinking of. It's the rarest. There's probably a rarer one, but it took forever. And it's one of the secret Final Fantasy bosses I beat. But in the very first one, there's a walkway you go through, and you fight the War Machine.
Yeah, Omega.
No. It's called War Machine.
Right.
It's got is that one of its casts, Omega?
Mm-hmm. Well, and it becomes known as Omega in later games. And it's there to fight Shinryu.
Okay, I just remember going back and forth. It's like the super rare chance.
Yeah, he's on this little bridge area.
Yeah, and you just walk back and forth,
Mm-hmm.
getting encounters, and maybe after 1,000,000 tries you'll get him. But that design, and that you said gear. There's that design, and there's another. Oh, I know what it is. I've got it. It was the Metal Gear. At the end of Metal Gear Solid, the T-Rex.
Metal Gear Rex. Yeah.
I've caught out with what box my brain was getting through. Where you said geared dinosaur.
No, it's very cool. I think they've cracked the code for making some really sick monsters that aren't necessarily like Pokemon. Metal Gear Ray as well. Yeah, Pokemon does a lot of softer angles, right, and stuff that looks more natural. Even with stuff like Blastoise, which has these giant cannons coming out of its shoulders, it's still softer angles around the head. It still looks like a turtle. But Casette Beast goes, hey, what if we took a lion and a hedge and made its head square, and that's Dandelion? And he's just a lion with a square head made out of grass.
Okay.
Sure.
I've seen that done a few different ways over the years. A dandelion.
Right.
Wasn't it Alice in Wonderland, the old Disney cartoon, that it was a lion's head on the plant, on the stem of the plant with the petals out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's just really cool. I like it. And the music's great. I don't know if I want to spoil this or not. There's what seems to be a recruitable party member, but I don't yet know how to recruit it. And if it is recruitable, then this is Game of the Year contender.
Okay.
But I found... I'll put up Spoiler Boo for anybody who cares. I don't know that anybody would, but I'll put him up just in case. I found a dog that has a cassette tape player. And so theoretically the dog could be a party member.
Like a boombox or a Walkman?
Like a Walkman. And if I can recruit this regular dog and he can turn into monsters to fight alongside me...
Game of the Year.
Just saying. It's up there with Armored Core then. But...
Wow.
No, it's very good.
Nice.
Paywall Dragon and off. Yeah. I've also been reading Doombreaker, which has a different name that would get us demonetized because it has the Minecraft word in it. But that's a really roundabout way of not getting demonetized on YouTube. But I guess we're on Twitch, so theoretically, I still don't want to not get demonetized. But it's reincarnation of the something Battle Master, and that something starts with an S and ends in dull. But I would, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, okay, it's if someone said to Minecraft yourself, you would be no. I'm explaining this really poorly.
Interesting.
Yes, reincarnation of the starts with an S, ends with an uadide. Uaside? Yeah. Battle Master. And the whole point is basically that, like, this one guy... right, yeah.
Okay.
This one guy was the last remaining human, and all of his friends were dead, everybody else on Earth had been killed, demons had invaded, and he was just trying to stop the Demon King. And when he cannot defeat the Demon King and he dies, he's given another chance, and he's sitting back in time to before everybody's dead, and then he has to try and do things differently. And there's a whole bunch of stories about, like, hey, character dies, gets sent back in time, given another chance. This one's cool because this guy, he wasn't the strongest guy originally, and so it's normally like when they get sent back, they have all their stats and everything, you know? When this guy gets sent back, all he has is his memories and a couple perks that the gods gave him because they wanted to see a good show, and he has to work with it from there. And it's pretty good. It's a wuxia comic, and so it's got all of the hey long name weapons and hey here's random power up, but it's a really fun story so far, and I love the side characters. Side characters are really good. It's a good read. And then I've been watching Columbo again. I just really love Columbo. I can never get enough of watching Columbo. I can watch the same episode over and over and over.
Watch Columbo. Let me clear my throat. I know nobody gets that, but Columbo's awesome.
Yeah. Shelter style. That doesn't surprise me, Dark. No, it's just it's really good. I watched the lawyer episode today where he uses the cheese to get him.
Yeah?
I was like, yeah. Columbo's great. But lastly for my week, I've been playing MMOs. I've been playing my same 3 MMOs, you know. Lotro's great. The stuff we got into yesterday with Theodred was legitimately super well done, and I know I praise Lotro's storytelling a lot, but
yeah, you liked it.
That's good stuff, man. There's a couple moments there where if you looked back at the VOD, you might see me getting a little misty-eyed and just doing this. I was like, look, I'm not gonna cry on stream about a character that I already knew was gonna die.
Unless it's Armored Core.
Yeah. Yeah. But it was Sinston that really did it for me. Like, I was holding out okay until Sinston. Then it was like, Still been playing 14. Still trying to level. getting real tired of a couple of those zones where I'm trying to level in. The one of them is not the best zone in the game. It's Thavnair in Endwalker, and I really don't like it. It's like,
Is there still an unkillable boss in 14?
No, that was in 11. That was in 11.
The shiny sparkly thing?
Yeah, Absolute Virtue. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He's in 14 as a boss you can kill, but he's killable there.
Okay. Yeah.
But this zone is like, half the zone is a really cool jungle in like this depressed canyon, and there's cool stuff in there. And then the other half of the zone is like a beach and a bunch of sand. And I don't know why they made it that way, but it's such a big zone for no reason, and my favorite parts of it are the little area in the middle. It's kind of like if you took 4HL, but then you took a little section in the middle, and you made it the most interesting part of it. But all the quests made you go everywhere else.
Right. There you go.
No!
See, if we can get them to travel a lot, they'll spend more time on the game.
Yeah, right. And then in Guild Wars, the Halloween event started. And I haven't started the Halloween event in Lotro yet. But the Halloween event in Guild Wars is the Mad King's Labyrinth. And so you run around the Mad King's Labyrinth, bashing stuff and buffing other people and getting a bunch of candy bags. And it's just a good time, you know?
Silly.
Yeah, just a good time. The whole time the Mad King is up there arguing with the Lich King, Joko. And they're talking about people they've met, and you can't target them or anything. They're just standing there talking, laughing and cracking jokes, and it's just a good time. So, but that's been my week. So that leads us into reviews.
Oi.
Chat, you should have a brand new emote you can use for reviews, which is an ice cream cone. So if you get ice cream, you can spam it. If you want ice cream, you can spam it. But I got to remove Rundgren, Remus, Dark, and Faith from the board this week. Got to earn it again.
That's like tearing down Mount Rushmore. What are you doing?
So we're starting off with the Metal Gear Solid Legacy Collection.
Oh, crap. I forgot what was in that. That was 3, right?
So this is Metal Gear Solid 1, Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 3, as well as the Game Gear game.
Okay.
86 emote. I will work on that.
86 is a good score for pick for this, I think. But I'll go 84. I'll keep it even, but I'm going to go 84.
Yeah, yours is by 1 3 times, Faith. 84? Okay.
Wow. 9 is a good choice, too, because I'm sure there's people out there like, oh, this crap, but I don't think overall it's going to do that bad at all. Yeah.
77.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That is a little bit lower than I thought. It's still not that bad of a score, but all right, fine.
I said 85. So, I got some reviews for you.
Red, no, blue. All right.
The first one is by Daily Mirror and says, if you expected spruced up versions of these titles, you'll leave disappointed. But if you're after a way to play one of the best video game series ever made on modern platforms wrapped up in a nice package, you won't be disappointed.
Okay.
Then I've got the one that might actually give you some information, which is Expansive, says Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1 comes complete with the same world-class incredible games, but sadly doesn't feel like a worthy collection of this world-class franchise. The presentation causes unnecessary confusion, and the preservation is surprisingly lacking across all featured titles. There's some great optional extras in here, such as screenplays for all games, a compilation for the franchise, and a fan dream of being able to play the different MGS1 territorial variations, along with playing some games on respective platforms for the first time. But nothing has moved on for MGS2 and 3 since the HD collection, and without twin stakes or any major noticeable tweaks in MGS1, there feels like a lack of desire to really maximize the potential of today's platforms. This should have been a huge moment bringing the original trilogy together like this, but you can't help thinking this could and should have been more.
And so what I'm getting from these reviews is, yeah, they made it to where we can play on them, but they didn't jack with them. There are those games that were classic.
You pretty much called it, though there's a few other things that we'll talk about in a little while, but a sing mode's been redeemed, so you're stuck with this for the next 5 minutes. Or 3 minutes! It's 3 minutes, it's not 5! It's 3!
Don't go all death metal all of a sudden. Hurry up. Let's go.
I wanted to read you one more just because I thought it was funny. This is from Stiviver. It says here, the question isn't whether or not Kojima's works are good. It's if Konami should have repackaged them. Again, I'd argue not. Or at least I'd argue not in this fashion.
That's it?
That's it.
Fair enough. All right. 73.
No. The score is 63%.
I don't know. I forget. I thought those would do a little bit better. It's like, hey, for one price, you get all three. Go through and play them. They're worth it.
We'll get into why when we get into news, but we'll talk about them a little bit more later.
Okay. Next game. Bring out the next game.
Next game is Ghost Runner 2.
Ghost Runner.
Emotional
He lost his
damage.
motorcycle.
He did.
No, that was the Ghost Rider from Marathon. I have no idea. 80. 80, yeah.
I'm assuming we have an 86 from Waverly.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes. 88. Okay. Nice.
The score is 80. You got it, Rungren.
Oh, nice. Ice cream. Ice cream. Lieutenant Dan, ice cream.
I have put you on the ice cream wall of fame.
Dun, 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 dun.
Why did it do that? Some of them worked, but I think some of them didn't.
So I got some ice creams and some objects. Obj. Right on, thank you much. Thank you very much.
So, Game Grin says Ghost Runner 2 is an exemplary sequel, improving upon the original in every way, with better energy systems, delightful and responsive bike levels, fantastic bosses, and the same quick-paced gameplay from the original. It's a no-brainer for anyone who even remotely enjoyed the first.
I don't either. Yeah.
I got ad not starting for another 31 minutes. Sing mode ran out, but I forgot to turn it off at top, so I'll sing this next line for you. Sing mode is off.
Okay.
I will change it to say it's ad time question mark because it's always wrong. That is a good call.
There we go.
All right, and your second review is from Kakuchopure, who says Ghost Runner 2 is tough and aggravatingly so. Aggravatingly so by design, but it's never unfair. Even with some of its unnecessary extras, it doesn't pollute the entire experience and still excels at what it delivers. Parkour ninja action in the first-person degree.
What was the name of this outlet?
Kakuchopure.
It reminds me of 80s band. That's funny. All right. You ready? So I got to decide the score for the recommendation of this game, Ghost Runner 2.
75 reviews.
And I'm going to go with a 75.
Dark says 84. The score is 78.
Well, I was in the 70s.
Well, I'm sorry that you hate my voice so much.
I understand.
Next up, we have Crime Machina.
Oh, okay. Ramaka. 79. 79.
Crime Machina is a sci-fi game based in a fantastical world by NIS America. Actually, it's made by Foodiu Company Corporation, but it's produced by NIS America.
Okay.
The score is 69.
Dude. All right. All right.
Got a couple of reviews for you.
That's not very good. Not in this context.
Digitally downloaded says Crime Machina as probing questions about the nature of humanity through the lens of machines, and its conclusions are evocative, emotive, and ultimately quite uplifting. It does sit in the shadow of the giant of a game that's already canvassed exactly the same subject through exactly the same lens. However, there's a greater warmth to Crime Machina that makes it more relatable than the relatively academic Nier Automata. Throw in some vividly memorable art. Hold on. There you go. Vividly memorable art direction, and what we have here is a JRPG that might surprise people with just how memorable it proves. And then your other review is from the 6-axis. We're gonna burn through everyone's points tonight.
Yeah.
I can't find Oof to play it. I saw I got redeemed. We also got a posture check.
Okay, fine.
The axe decided to go on its own.
Read the review, Trey.
6-axis says Crime Machina has a promising story and a fresh aesthetic, but the presentation leaves so much to be desired.
You don't say.
Convoluted and rushed world building makes it hard to get invested, and the basic and repetitive combat encounters make it hard not to feel like the loop between gameplay and story is more of a chore than it's worth.
That's it. Okay. I'll work on your endings. Look, I'm gonna go 67 for this. That.
I feel like sync mode kinda undermines how easy it is to understand the reviews. But the score is 38%.
Oh, wow. Well, that goes along, goes right along. There's a theme there. Goes right along with the singing. That's good. They wouldn't recommend it. Play this game. Wouldn't recommend it.
Finally, we have Super Mario Bros. Wonder.
Super Mario Brothers Wonder.
I don't know why they called it that, but that's the title.
Wonder if it's any good. Okay. 85. Solid. Go one below Waverly. Save those points. It's Mario. You can be the king of the castle or the dirty rascal.
The score is 92. Dark got it.
Can't let me have one alone, can you, Dark? Huh? Can't let me have one.
What are we changing my name to? Waverly. This feels like it's pick on Trey night tonight. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. This is what happens when you're asked for a letter and you say 7.
Fair. You know what? That's fair. I've earned it.
That's the name?
Sing Trey it is.
You do realize I gotta be at this podcast as well, don't you? Yeah.
Just be glad we don't make you sing. You do a great job at it. You sing all the time.
I do it for free and for the freedom and passion of the art.
I just have to make it sound kind of funny. But as it counts, making fun of me is really easy, so, why not? All right, so the score was 92, as we said. I got some reviews to read. Do you see what they say? BG247 says, within the understood parameters of what 2D Mario can be, this has to be the single best entry since Super Mario World, and is the perfect first game to launch a new era of Mario games with its newfound elevation to movie star status. There's a bunch of reviews that were just like that. It's really annoying, actually.
What? 100, really?
Want to read 2 more for you.
Okay.
I think that a lot of people are biased in their review blurbs. But surprisingly, The Guardian comes in with some pretty good commentary. Okay. They say, there's no story to discover, no complex rules to learn, just instant appealing fun. It's fun you'll have already experienced if you're a Mario fan, but with enough novelty and unexpected twists to prevent it from feeling overfamiliar. And for those new to Mario, kids just aging into video games, friends or family members tempted into a multiplayer session, this is a wonderful introduction to the fizzy creativity and attention to detail that has made Mario a family staple for nearly 30 years.
Yeah. Okay. 98. I got like both Dark and Will. Shooting real high. Prince Peach's Peach. Well, they've always done something weird because like Paper Mario was like a really weird thing. And it kind of like a slow grind getting big, but it became like such a like a kind of a big deal in Mario history.
It did.
It did. Kind of like the same feeling I kind of get from this. I wonder. Interesting. Anyway, go ahead.
And then Nintendo threw Paper Mario away.
They made 2, didn't they?
They made 4, and the other 2 are bad.
Okay.
I mean, bad enough it killed the franchise. So they're bringing back one of the other ones as a remake.
Sounds like Phantasm, the old movies. The first 2 are pretty good. 3 or 4 just, oh my gosh, they're horrible.
The score is 99%.
Okay. But donk. The scientific term for it. 1 away. Mook.
But that's it for reviews tonight.
He's Irish, not Scottish. All right.
So we move into announcements.
All right.
Start off with the Xbox Partner Preview, which is tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Are these indie games?
No, that would probably be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, it's going to be stuff from Ryuga Gotoku Studio, Remedy Entertainment, and Studio Wildcard.
Oh, okay. Not indie, but just kind of under their umbrella.
Mm-hmm. They say to expect to see some footage of Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, well, some stuff for Alan Wake 2, and also Ark Survival Ascended, and Dungeons of Hindenburg.
Okay.
However, it gets weird, is that they specifically say the show will be accessible to everyone, which is great. And then, if you can't watch it, they'll pull out a blog post afterwards. But if you want to co-stream it, don't stream any copyrighted music because the bots will get you. But also, there's copyrighted music inside the stream, so the bots will get you. Please stream it, but also don't stream it. I don't understand what they mean.
I think they want people to stream it so they can copyright, not strike it, but claim it.
So they can get the extra ad revenue.
Yeah.
It's just such a strange thing where they say, hey, turn off sing mode. Where they say, hey, we want everybody that wants to co-stream it. We welcome your co-streaming efforts to try and make sure that it goes out to as many people as possible. But also, just so you know, we can't guarantee that glitches or disruption by bots or automated software won't interfere with your co-stream. If you're going to do it, don't use any audio containing copyrighted music. But they're going to be showing off Ark, which is definitely going to play a copyrighted music song in the trailer.
I will repay you with exposure.
Just a weird thing, man.
I know.
Anyway, that's tomorrow. Got one more announcement. And this one is sad, but a little bit funny. Just a little bit funny.
Okay.
Warhammer Quest is going away. This game came out in 2015. It's a top-down Warhammer Fantasy online game. And that's not the funny part. Obviously, people that like this game and have been playing it, that's sad, right?
Sure.
I want to read to you the official statement that was made for the closure of the game.
Something.
New sales ending soon. New sales of Warhammer Quest will end shortly on Steam. Thanks for all your support for this game over the years. That's it. That's all they sent. They're shutting the servers down, too. They don't mention that in this post.
There you have it.
So, yeah, just... if you play Warhammer Quest, it's going away. I'm sorry.
Oh, my God.
That leads us into the news.
Thanks for playing. I'm out of here.
Pretty much. Nice, Dark. So we talked about the MGS Master Collection earlier and how it's reviewing really poorly. The reason it's reviewing really poorly in a lot of ways is because of the same bugs that were in there at launch, right? Bugs that at the time were an issue, but people ignored.
There was nothing you could do about them.
Right. Now, those are problems, right? Especially on higher resolutions. Stuff like, hey, you can use the shave code to shave Snake, but then it breaks the codec, and now you can't use the codec at all, Which is a big part of MGS1. The shave code didn't exist back in the day, so this wasn't a problem. Twin Snakes had it, but Twin Snakes is not in here. So, like, there's a bunch of different things like that of, hey, future versions of the game had this, and they added some variant of it back in here, even though it doesn't have that future version of it, and so it doesn't work.
It's a new experience.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to use the old stuff.
Yeah. Also, stuff like, if you beat the game and get the infinite bandana, there are some guns that don't trigger the infinite ammo, right?
Oh, that sucks.
That's a problem, but that was in the game at launch when it first came out. They're fixing that now. They should have fixed it before they released the games. Playtesters have come out and said, yeah, no, we knew those things were broken.
Right.
But
right.
They're fixing it, at least. It's the 1.2.0 update. It came out today. For whatever reason, MGS2 had, like, credits coming up during cutscenes that were in a different color from the rest of the credits. Just a weird bug that probably didn't used to happen that often, but it happened every time here.
All right.
Stuff like, hey, a codec call in MGS3, there would be a weird pause right before it started, and that pause would get longer the longer the game was running. That's been fixed. And then some stuff in cutscenes that's been fixed.
Okay.
But there's also some weird things that they did with this collection after saying they weren't going to change the games at all that they had to fix. Like, so Snake Eater, Metal Gear Solid 3, the iconic ladder climbing scene, right?
Yeah.
Where the song plays, it was broken because there's supposed to be the ambient buzz of lamps as you're climbing past them, and for whatever reason Konami cut the ambient lamps and it unsynced the song, so the song would start playing before you got to the ladder. They fixed it, they added the lamps back in and it fixed it, but it's just like a weird thing to do. Why would you mess with that at all, you know?
No, I understand. We can take that out, put it back in later for DLC.
Right. They also, some of the reviewers were really mad that MGS1 was capped at 30 FPS. The fact that it was 30 FPS on PS1 was crazy, right? Like, most games on PS1 didn't run at 30. They ran at like 27, 28.
But they got away with it because of the blur and rain and stuff.
Yeah. So it was nuts that it could run that at all. Nowadays, 30 is not that great. So people are mad that it wasn't higher. But if you try to run MGS1 on an emulator at 60, it breaks. Because everything is tied to the frame rate. So I think it's weird that people are mad about that. I guess because they just don't know that it breaks at higher frame rates. They're like, no, it should be 60. It's 2023. It's like, well, if you put it at 60, you literally can't catch up to Vulcan when he's in the tank. The tank moves so much faster than you do.
Yeah.
Oh, they're fixing it, but it's just weird things they had to fix.
Okay.
Our next thing for news is, I'm sorry, Dark. I'm giving you advanced heads up. I'm sorry. MGS 1 and 2, yeah, but MGS 3 does not run on. It's not all tied to the frame. Guild Wars 2 has a new studio update. And so we got some new news there. Just keep an eye on the screen so you can see the titles changing for stuff. That way you don't miss out on reviews again. Not that we're gonna do reviews again today, but you know what I mean. The second chunk of the story is coming in. They broke the expansion up into 4 updates. You pay for it once, and you get it over the space of updates, right?
Yeah.
And so this will give 3 more chapters of the story. It'll give another map. It'll give a new challenge mode for a strike, new masteries, new stuff you can get in the daily vault, new armor, and all that fun stuff. They're adding a new game mode, basically, called Convergences. It sounds a lot like Dragon Response missions to me, which are the worst thing in the entire game. So I hope it's not that. But we'll see. And then they're going to be giving a demo where people can play around with the new weapons that are going to be added to each class next year. So I'll check that demo out. That'll be fun. That's pretty much all we had there. When I mentioned at the start of the show that we had some stuff to talk about, I was very emphatic on the some, because not a lot of news this week. And the news we have is not like super deep, but
yeah.
Next up, we have the Final Fantasy XIV EU FanFest reveals.
Okay.
Which are mostly just like, hey, there's some cool stuff in here. The new job, one of the two new jobs is going to be called the Viper. It is their version of Corsair. The FF14 version of Corsair. Not to be confused with Lotro's Mariner. They look like they're going to play very differently. It's really funny to me that, and you and I have mentioned, I've talked to you about this off the podcast. It's really funny to me that both MMOs wound up with kind of an exotic, like going to the islands kind of thing expansion, with a Corsair job being added to each or class.
Yes, only one other time in history could I recall something of this magnitude. It's when Armageddon and Deep Impact were released the same summer.
Yep.
We had two Astro. Were they trying to tell us something?
But it is very clear they're very different from each other. It's not like somebody had an idea, one's stealing off the other. It's not like Shadowbringers and Shadowlands, is what I'm saying.
It's kind of funny because with Tolkien's world, they're trying to say as true they can to the world. I think they do a pretty good job with it. So they have to find the next area of expansion,
right?
Which is that. And for Guild Wars, it kind of feels like, we have. I'm pretty sure they already have a snow level.
Yeah.
So the next after the snow level is, then you go to the tropical level.
Well, and in 14, we knew this place existed for a long time. I just haven't been able to go there. So it's cool to have hey, this thing's been mentioned over and over again. Now we finally get to go see it, Yeah. But we also got to see a little bit of this is what a town will look like, this is what an area will look like, and all that stuff looked cool. The next FanFest is when we'll get more stuff. But the big thing for this one was Viper. And I know it's, when I say more stuff, of course, more things will be announced. But I mean, we'll get actual details then, because that's the last FanFest. That's when the final job will get revealed and we'll get some information about how they play and stuff like that.
Right.
But this job looks cool. Twin blades that turn into a twin blade. Connect them at the pommel. So dual blades.
Pirate Darth Maul, the greatest game ever.
Yeah, and the gear they give you has a hood on it that kind of looks like a mix between Jack Sparrow and a Jedi. So,
might as well.
Give
people what they want.
I'm stoked for it.
Right on.
And then, Dark, if you want to come back, these last two news pieces are tangential to FF14, but are not. They're about Hironobu Sakaguchi. For anybody who doesn't know that name, you should. Hironobu Sakaguchi is the father of Final Fantasy in a lot of ways. He's the one that was in charge of most Final Fantasies back in the day, Final Fantasy 1 through 6. And, well, And there is a funny story I'm going to tell you in a minute, though, Dark, that you might appreciate. And he also, was a part of the team that made 7 and 8, and that he was in charge of 9. He's a big guy in Final Fantasy, Well, he was interviewed as part of the FF14 FanFest stuff, and one of the questions he was asked was, hey, will you ever work on FF14? And he said, no way.
No. Nice.
I understand.
No, he wants... There's no way that a guy goes from working on 7, as far as influence goes, probably one of the biggest MMOs of all time. Working on 8. That man, it was there. There might have been another game done it before that, but you actually interacted with your attacks when you fire the gun, the gun blade. When you did the was it Omni Slash in that one?
I think that's 7. Pretty sure.
I think that is too, Sephiroth fight. And then you said he headed up 9?
Yeah.
Yeah, 9 was kind of a big deal.
Yeah, it's a fan favorite.
Which is weird because it's not one of the biggest selling.
Right. But it might. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
That's really good. A guy like that doesn't want to go work on somebody else's vision, right?
Yeah. He also has like another reason though, which I think is really funny.
Okay.
He likes to play 14 and doesn't want to know what's being added next.
Best reason of all, right there. Yeah.
It would be like if they asked you to work on Lotro. Then you would know what they were adding, and it wouldn't be a surprise to you when you got to play it. You would probably still work on it, though.
Yeah, because I know. Look, they're not going to ask me to do what they're asking him to do. Okay?
They might.
The best I could probably do is do a crappy job voice acting some of the quest speeches.
I would love for you to do that. That would be awesome.
Either that or like sweep up the office.
Yeah.
That would be like the two things that, and I'd probably do a better job sweeping up the office.
Yeah.
That is a little bit different.
Right. They did have Sakaguchi play a little bit with Naoki Yoshida, the producer of 14, and they played a little bit of 14, and apparently they've played in the past separately together, not in front of a crowd or anything, and Sakaguchi was playing a healer and let Naoki Yoshida die. So
how that feels. Well, no, I know how it feels on the other end, but go ahead.
Well, my heals are so weak.
Not really playing a healer.
Yeah. I can heal you for less damage than they're putting out.
Yes.
However, my favorite part about the whole interview was when healer, the hand of God. That's right. Yes. My favorite part of the whole interview was when Sakaguchi was asked if he had any anecdotes he wanted to tell the crowd. And he said that he needed to make a formal public apology to Nobuo Uematsu.
Okay.
Now, for anybody who doesn't know that name, again, probably should. This is the guy that made a lot of the music for Final Fantasies 1 through 10.
Okay.
This guy is like a legend in the video game soundtrack, like annals of history, right? Will's with you, Dark. And apparently, when working on Final Fantasy 1, Nobuo Uematsu gathered a cassette tape together that was all the music he'd composed for Final Fantasy 1. He brought it to Hironobu Sakaguchi and said that Sakaguchi, this was his statement to the crowd, took it home to listen to it, barely paid attention to it, came back the next day and told him he needed to make something better. Somebody in the crowd said, "Why?" And he said, "Because I believed if I told him to make something better, he would bring me something fantastic."
Okay.
So, Uematsu went back home, reordered all the songs on the tape, didn't change any of them, brought them back the next day. Sakaguchi played the tape and said it was fantastic. And Uematsu says, "I don't see how. Those are the same songs as yesterday."
Yeah.
And Sakaguchi said, "I apologize. This music is great." And then told the crowd, "I apologize again to Uematsu-san."
Right on. It's a good story.
And I thought that was wonderful.
Look, all I'm going to say is Vanille's probably one of the most aptly named characters in that.
Yeah, she's very vanilla.
Yeah. That. Yeah, it's a good. Look, he's been there a while, all right?
Now we can tell those kind of stories without getting in trouble.
Yeah, that's kind of vanilla.
I just think she's boring.
Yeah.
Fang is so much cooler than her.
She's a poser. She wants to act like that, but she's not. All right.
All right.
Well, I don't know what this one is, though.
Well, that was the last one right there.
He says, well, okay, that wrapped him from the.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So we'll throw it over to your corner.
All right. All right. All right. My turn. So, as we always, we start this off with a happy birthday.
Yeah.
Today, I would like to say happy birthday to Drake.
Oh.
Yeah, it's Drake's birthday. I'm sure he's laying down some tracks, doing head starts.
Of course it did. Of course it did.
Is it going? Do you have a countdown?
I've got a countdown saying it's going for 26 more seconds.
All right, I'll give it a second.
I'm trying to figure out how to change it to where it shows add time ?
Okay. All right, that. Still counting down. I'm going to drink.
You have 8, 7, 6, 3, 2, 1. You're good.
All right. As I was saying, it was happy birthday to Drake. Sure, got other things to do. Doesn't have a chance to watch this today. I'm sure he'll catch up some other time. I did find out, unfortunately, that he's Canadian. But, you know, that's things happen that way. On through that. But happy birthday, Drake. I hope you have a good one through that. I did have a news story. And this one's got all kinds. So let me tell you about this, okay?
Okay.
So Dorothy Hoffner felt confident as she approached the plane. She got on the plane and sat down as she's done before. She's been through this a couple of times. When she sits down and sits and looks at the other passengers on the plane, and she's always kind of been a follower, but today was her day to go first. She sat on the plane until it got up to around 13,500 feet and relaxed. And she looked over as the door of the plane opened, showing up fields below, far, far below. And she walked over to the door of the airplane, looked out, leaned forward, did a perfect front somersault, and parachuted down to the ground. The entire time, including her landing, her free fall, and her parachute landing and everything, was 7 minutes. And in 7 minutes, the wind whipped her hair. And as she got closer, the world became bigger. More details became into view. And she picked out her landing spot. And she came down lightly, with a perfect landing, reaching up with her arms. She grabbed the canopy, pulled it to, bent her legs just right as she landed, and made a perfect soft landing. And a group of people run around congratulating her. And then they make sure that she's got her walker. Because Dorothy was 104 years old when she did this.
Goodness.
Yes. She had done her first tandem jump. She followed out of the train. She started training for this when she was at the ripe young age of 100. They are. It's either being double checked right now or reviewed, or it has become the Guinness World Record for the oldest skydiver on that.
Yeah.
Well, the last record was set in May of 2022 by Linnea Ingegard Larsson of Sweden, who was 103. So, no, that was one of the things. She did have a caregiver that came into to her house and taken care of her for a while, and said she was always a good functioning airplane. Yeah, that she was very sharp, her mind, and 104 years old,
Right.
pretty good health. Yeah, she jumped from 13,500 feet in Chicago. No, excuse me, at Skydive Chicago in Ottawa, Illinois, which is 85 miles southwest of Chicago.
Right.
As for comment, she said age is just a number. Like I said, she's been doing that for 4 years, from 100. I do have kind of a bittersweet ending on this rambunctious old lady. Like 104 is a long time to live.
Yeah.
That's a ripe old age to be doing a front flip out of a plane 13,500 feet in the sky and parachute. She has a walker, sir. Like, but for those 7 minutes, she doesn't need a walker.
Nope.
I know. Now she would have been 105 in December, but she did pass away. She was, and it was it was actually yesterday, Monday, at the living community she was at, and apparently she had just passed in her sleep and everything, but no, she didn't turn 107. No, she didn't. Yeah. Still sound wine. I don't know. I gotta hand it to her. That's, to me, that's just, there's a certain level of badassdom.
Yeah.
To that it's like yeah. 104. Don't. I don't know. I kind of wonder at that age though. A little bit funny if it's not like what's the worst that can happen?
Right. Yeah.
I don't pull it off, then, oh, well, I've lived over a century.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine, like, how just what she's seen in the environment change around her, how it grows. But, yeah, Dorothy Hoffner, 103-year-old shooter. Salute you. That's what I had tonight.
Okay.
I thought it was a cool story.
Could celebrate stuff like that.
Heck yeah.
All right. Well, normally this is where we go outro and plugs.
Right.
So do you have any plugs?
I don't know when you put it out, but In Deep Geek has got a really good Lord of the Rings video to nerd out on if you like Lord of the Rings. Nerd out on. And it is it's the history of Morgoth.
Okay.
And the story of him, which encompasses Fingolfin and Fëanor and a bunch of stuff that probably nobody has any idea what I'm talking about. But if you do like that and want to nerd out on a little bit, Indie Geek did a great video on that.
Nice. Hoping now that you said it, it will pop up on my YouTube recommendation for
me. Right.
We shall see. I just want to plug the channel Peacock. That's the not sponsored or anything, but they have
NBC.
They have clips of Columbo. Watch on YouTube. You can watch Columbo on Peacock, but then you have the ads. But if you watch, it's not the whole episode. If you ever just want to go like, hey, I want to watch this one time where he got the guy or he got the killer, you can do that.
Yes.
Well, we got a busy week as usual. For the most part, it seems like the Twitch transition has gone well. We had, I know you can't see the numbers right now, but I'm going to get that fixed for you. But we had just about the same number of viewers as usual. Appreciate everybody that came over here from YouTube. Tomorrow, you might say, well, we haven't voted on Rundgren's assignment. That's because,
dang it,
due to the issues, he hasn't been able to play Relicta yet. So we're doing Relicta. And then Thursday, we're talking Chile mythology.
Yeah, that's such a long... Look, man, Chile is like... It's really long.
Yeah.
Kind of a different zone up here in this part, but it's still got a... I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, we'll talk about it.
Awesome.
Crazy.
And then Friday, we're going to play a game called Faith. We're going to play a spooky game. I played the demo when it was part of the Steam Fest.
Okay.
And the demo terrified me. So, a game called Faith. Yeah. The full name is Faith the Unholy Trinity. And it's supposed to be about a Vatican priest that goes rogue to try and exorcise a haunted house. So,
okay.
It absolutely terrified me. We'll see how it goes, but that'll be our spooky game for Friday. And then the Friday after that, we'll go back to Liza P. I forgot to talk about Liza P. Liza P is really fun. Beat some bosses, beat 2 areas, made good progress, got boss weapons. It's going to be a good time. I don't blame you, Faith. This Friday stream will be a spooky stream for sure. We'll probably have the lights in here dimmed and have a good time with that because I'm probably going to scream a few times. But it'll be a good time. I feel like I'm forgetting anything. Is there anything I forgot?
I don't think so, sir.
Okay. We'll be back Monday as well, so don't forget Monday. Mondays.
Yeah, for sure.
We had to deal with the fallout of what's happened. The gap of Rohan.
Yes.
All right. Well, until next time. Really appreciate everybody watching. Yeah, that's normally I'd pull up a topic, but that's why I'm not, so we can go play, because I promised you almost a year ago that I would play with you.
Yeah, do it.
We're going to go play. But until next time, I've been Trey.
I've been Rundgren.
And this has been the Full Spectrum Podcast. Remember to always enjoy the full spectrum. Life. To offer.